What's happening, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of West Ham Fan TV's Post-Match Pint, the only West Ham United post-match full show on the internet. We've just virtually come back from Old Trafford, where it was Manchester United 1, West Ham United 1. Scott, take us through the starting lineup, mate.
Fabianski in goal. Oh, no changes, really, was there? Johnson right back, Creswell left back, Diop, Bonner. Same midfield, three and Noble, Soucek and Rice. Fornals left, Bowen right, and Antonio up top.
Mathematically safe. Happy days.
A little fine as I would have liked, but yeah.
We were safe before the game, but
yeah,
come on.
I know, but now it's
a lot more better. I'm going to stroll into work like Vince McMahon tomorrow because we're at the wrong end of the table. But fuck it, we're Premier League. The season's done for us now. We've got
to rest until it was mathematically safe, because I know what we're like. You know what it's been like over the years following West Ham. Until it was official, I couldn't relax.
I'll be honest,
I know what we're like.
This result didn't come to any shock to me, to be honest with you. I'm going to be totally honest. I thought we're in good form. You know, they're there to be got at times. Although I didn't think we got at them as much as we could have or should have. Although fucking the stats tell a different story. You know, I know United started off the game well, but it's just the arrogance of United fans, to be honest with you. It's the, you know, you've had to sit here listening all week of we're gonna, you know, talking as if we didn't exist and talking as if we're gonna go up there and get our bellies tickled. You know, I've seen this West Ham United before when we're in good form and all that. And when we're in good form and we're playing well, we give anyone a game.
Yeah, especially with the way we've been playing the last few games. The first 20 minutes we was chasing shadows, couldn't get the ball off them. You got to expect that at Old Trafford, you know, they knock it about. But the good thing is we didn't let their main players play through the middle. We kept making them go out wide, making them make mistakes. And as soon as we got the ball, all we had to do was get that ball and keep it for a good 2 or 3 minutes, just knock it about a bit. And we've done that a few times, and it sort of knocked United off their perch. But going back to what you were saying about their fans, they think they've got a God-given right to turn up and beat teams like West Ham, and they don't like it when they drop points against us. But we've taken 4 points off them this season, so shut that.
That might have been true. That might have been true 10, 15 years ago, but the Man United today ain't the Man United that they were under Ferguson, are they?
No, that's it. That's the thing. You see, you look at the season, like where the fact that we are where we are in the league positions and things like that, and it's been one of them seasons. We're unbeaten against United this season. Unbeaten, done a double over Chelsea. You know, it's the
how many times over the years have we stuck it to them when we really need to?
Well, this is it. And again,
they should.
Yeah,
the pressure was on them a bit tonight, wasn't it? Because they had to win the game, really.
To be honest with you, I think the pressure got to a couple of their players.
Yeah, definitely. Especially Fernandes
was poor. Fernandes was poor. Thought Pogba was average at best. I thought the kid Greenwood played really well.
Yeah, I'll tell you what I liked. I liked that battle between Bowen and the Williams. I think they had a good battle all game. I think they sort of complemented each other. Really, it was a good battle. Good, and as you said, Greenwood he played really well. But I think Pogba, we kept him quiet. Fernandes, we kept him quiet. Yeah. We when we had that ball, they were worried. And I said this the other day, when you go to Old Trafford, they let you play football. The form we're in at the moment, we had no fear going there. We had nothing to lose. And to be fair, I thought we might have edged it today. I know the stats say they had more shots on target, but I thought we had better chances than them.
Yeah, I think
at times our passing was really slick as well tonight.
That's it, and that's confidence, isn't it? It's the confidence that we've got from picking up the results we have. But we're like you said, Nicky, that Pogba was poor, Fernandes before. I think that was a lot to do with our organisation in the midfield. We made it difficult for them to play.
Yeah, we pressed them to give them time on the ball.
You got sort of like Man United fans in the in our live stream saying, "Oh, look, you're chucking 10 behind the ball." And as I was saying to you, like, you know, what do you do? They want you to roll up at their gaff and just fucking walk out the way.
They got some fucking cheek, in they. I know.
Like, that's what I said when Mourinho was their manager. They got some fucking cheek because, but they was loving all of that. But what do they want you to do? They want you to open the fucking gates for them and let them keep on having shots on your goal. And as I said, mathematically on paper, Man United have got a better team, than West Ham. But to win them games, football ain't played on paper; it's played on grass. And what you do is you mix it up and do what you have to do to get the points. It don't matter how you win the points at Old Trafford. It don't matter if you win a point at Old Trafford. You've done your fucking job, no matter what tactics. But you look at the stats tonight; it was more or less 50-50 possession. I think we had one more shot than them. I think they had a couple more on target. It wasn't like we were sitting there letting them have 30 shots on their goal and we got a lucky penalty. It was, there was times when I thought we would score the next goal.
Yeah. We got men behind the ball, but we didn't park the bus, so to speak.
No, I think Souček was quiet tonight, but he still had a decent game. He wasn't so much of a threat in their box as I thought I'd like to him to have been, because we've seen him against Watford and Newcastle and the other games.
It just goes to show, though, Ray. You know what I mean? He can play two different types of games. He's obviously good going forward. He's good getting in the box, but with sort of Fernandez around, who's who can create, who can damage you if you get caught on the break, and if he gets caught in the opposition box and they break like that, then he's just as comfortable sitting there, sweeping it up and getting his foot in. And
got to praise Ben Johnson as well tonight.
Oh,
kid was unreal. Bearing in mind start at Old Trafford, youngster, he just looks so comfortable there, doesn't he? And it makes you think, like, I know we've gutted that Ngakia left, but maybe it was a blessing him leaving, because Ben Johnson's now, and Zabaleta's gone as well. Ben Johnson's gone right to the top of the pecking order because Fredericks is injured. Ben Johnson, for me, looks like he's played about 30, 40 games in the West Ham first team.
He was excellent tonight. He was excellent against Rashford as well. One of the better players in the league, young English players. He was brilliant. I was saying during the stream, I don't know whether he was in there, Scott, at the time, but maybe, just maybe, with not having any money, Ngakia was rumoured to be interested in Watford and going to Watford to progress his career and all that. Maybe they'll offer him a contract. It's not still not out of the realms of possibility to have both of them, because I'll be honest with you, I thought Ngakia looked a little bit more
pacey going forward.
Yeah, I think he was better going forward. But look, that's not saying Ben Johnson is, he's any worse than him. I thought he had an excellent game tonight. But having the both of them, especially seeing as Johnson can play left back, would be a benefit to us.
Well, he's got good pedigree, isn't he? Paul Parker's nephew, Ledley King's cousin, isn't he, or something like that. So.
Yeah,
he's in good company.
If he's half as decent as both of them, then we've got one hell of a defender. But Ogbonna, once again, man, how good was he? Solid once again. Yeah. And to be fair to him, I think Creswell had a really decent game today.
Yeah, I thought he put it out from back. He's getting forward. Them crossfield passes to Bowen.
Yeah, he over it a couple of crosses when he got into the right positions, but I think he had a decent game going down there, and Diop as well. I think Diop and Ogbonna sort of complemented each other tonight. They both work well together. They're getting an understanding. It's a shame that we haven't had this sort of formal season, because we would have been comfortably mid-table, maybe pushing for top 8. But look, we've got the results when we needed them, and it's kept us in the Premier League. So we are a Premier League team, mate. So.
That's it. That's the thing, isn't it? We were sitting there going, we can't see where the 3 wins are coming from. We've gone and got the results that we needed to get. We go into this Villa game Sunday. There's no pressure. So are we going to see when Moyes has turned around and said, if we weren't under pressure, we could play a different way? Are we going to see that different way now? Because we don't need to go 10 men behind the ball against Villa. We can go at Villa a bit more.
I'll tell you what, mate. Villa have got to go for the win, so the game is going to be so open. So that it could be a good it could be a good, a different sort of experience for West Ham on Sunday, because Villa have got to get the win. So that could open up and leave Villa open for us to maybe, win the game comfortably. But then again, Villa could turn us over. But to be fair, mate, I couldn't give a shit what happens Sunday now. I said it back in February. As long as we go into that last game of the season, 4 points clear of the relegation zone, I don't care. I still want to win because I want to end the season on a high.
Yeah.
I'm hearing some screaming from an house across the road, so I'm guessing someone scored.
4-3 Liverpool now.
Oh,
that was 3-1 last time I checked.
Yeah, I think it's Pulisic. Pulisic had just scored. He just brought the ball down in the area.
That was 1983.
I thought Nicky was going to say someone's getting beaten up across the road or something. And
I can hear someone screaming across the road. I didn't know my neighbours were Chelsea fans.
Another Fornell's had a decent game tonight as well. I thought a lot better than the other day. I can't
think of anyone who had a bad game, to be honest.
No, I can't fault anyone in the team. It was a great team performance, as you said, going to Old Trafford. When the way the game started, I thought to myself, we're going to be in for a long night here. They just had so much of the ball. It was so deep. But once we got comfortable and got hold of the ball and had a few touches and, the penalty right on half time. I mean, Pogba fooled us all because I thought it hit him in the face. That was great acting. But then again, I know we moan about VAR, but thank God VAR was there, really. Because he'd have got away with that.
That was almost as bad as that. Who was the Newcastle player? Was it Stephen Taylor? Remember when he handballed it and he pretended it hit him in the ribs and it was acting like he had broken ribs or something?
Yeah, after he just saved it on the line.
Yeah. Look, the thing is, I opened the United Stand channel as it was happening, just to hear what he was saying, because people were saying he was going off on one, and he was going, let me fucking, you stand in a fucking wall and let me blast the ball at your face and see if you don't put your hands up. You got the choice to move your head out of the way. If you could do that, you can do that.
Exactly.
Mate, Gary Neville said it. Take it in the grill.
Yep.
Take it.
Yeah. If you're a brave player, and I've always said this, and I don't mean to be rude. I don't understand all of this ball to the face bollocks, because I've took balls to the face, full pelt from 2 yards.
What channel was that on? I must have missed that one.
I've took the football to the face from full pelt from 2 yards. It's a bag of air. It stings.
Yeah,
it stings a little bit. There ain't no way I'm ever going to get knocked out by it. There ain't no way I'm ever going to be fucking like rolling around the floor fucking like my face has fell off. You get a fucking dinged nose, or you get a fucking slap cheek or something like that. It's not going to fucking kill you at the end of the day. And yeah, exactly. When I was playing, it's a bag of air at the end of the day. Yeah, it can be it stings for about 2 minutes. You don't have to put your hands up like that. As I say, like, what are you going to do? You're just going to let it. You're just going to let it hit you in the face. Now you can move your head out of the way. If you don't want to get hit by it, move.
I'll tell you what. You've got the choice. Declan Rice half pinged that ball, man. Fucking, he's found shooting boots, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's found that one he put just over as well. Second half when he just cut in and curled it.
Yeah.
But I mean, he fooled us all, because I thought it was good acting by Pogba, because I thought to myself, that's how I fucking hit him. But
he was sitting there like that, as if it had hit his nose, weren't he? Trying to
it's cheating. It makes me laugh though how they can do it now, because they know VAR's there.
Yeah.
The way, I can't believe it took VAR that long to decide it was a penalty. To be fair, that was when I thought to myself, I bet they don't give this. Saying it's going to go, well, they don't give it.
Do you know what? I was thinking the same. I was sitting there thinking, I swear they were looking for a reason why they didn't have to give it.
It's just the way he went
checking him for an offside from when he hit it.
It's just the way he went. Ooh,
his hands were there. It wasn't like they was like that.
No,
if he was in goal, you go, that ain't a bad save, to be fair.
I was going to say that's better than the Gea.
How you can turn around and sit there and say that ain't a penalty, like with your chest and with a straight face and not admit that you're being biased. I don't see how you can do that, because
it's the way Pogba was looking around, like looking for someone to say help me.
Even when he walked past Noble, and Noble's like, "Oh, you're right. You're right."
Yeah, but it was when he started covering his nose, pretending he had a busted nose. Like, fuck off, mate! You can't hide that.
I think even Antonio was laughing at him at that point. You know,
Fair play to,
I mean, it is funny, but like, listen, that boy earns about £350,000 a week, mate. You can hit me in the head with a fucking sledgehammer once a week if you wanted. You know what I mean? Like, if you're that worried about a ball hitting you in the face at that money, at that level, would you ever see Steve? I mean, look at his nose. So the answer is no. Would you ever see Steve Bruce move his head out the way of that? Would you ever see Brian Robson move his head out the way of that? Mark Hughes? None of them would have. They would have just took one in the face, or you know, worst comes to worst. If you really didn't want to get hurt, you can fucking move your head. And the thing is, right? It's a deliberate handball to stop a shot on goal. I think it should have been a booking. And just before that, he'd slapped one out of the way when he fucking tried the crossfield ball. He slapped it with his hand and then tried to take his shoulder.
I was surprised it weren't a booking, because I know, you know, it's no longer really a sending off because they look at the penalty as punishment enough. But I would have thought he would have got booked for that.
Yeah, it's a deliberate handball. I mean, look, I'm not going to sit here and fucking whinge about it. It is what it is. If it was a West Ham player, I'd probably be saying the opposite, you know, but you know, it's a booking in my eyes, and he should have had one just before that as well. But you know, it is what it is. The penalty was given, the right decision was made. But yeah, it's
fair play to Noble though for letting him take it. Antonio, he's obviously on a good run of form. I see rumours that he's on a bonus or something like that. I don't know how true that is, but I think Noble done a similar thing last season with Arnie, didn't he? Give him the penalty. You know, when the player's in good scoring form, Noble likes to let them continue. So Noble could have easily took that penalty and he'd have put it away, no doubt. But that was a great penalty by Antonio. You know, there's sometimes I think with Antonio, I thought he was going to smash it or something, but no, he's placed it. He sent De Gea, perfect penalty, great end to the half.
I said to Nicky, I thought it was quite a poor one, and then when I sat down and watched it back again, it weren't a bad. Like you said, he sent the keeper the wrong way, so it was a composed.
Done him with the eyes. Done him with the eyes.
That's it, and that's the thing. You know, it's the confidence that he's in. But we were saying with Noble just 2 goals behind Di Canio's Premier League for us. Noble would have fancied that, because I think that would have equalled him.
Yeah, but I don't think Nobes is really worried about the goal scoring charts and things like that. You know, he's like I said, he done the same thing for Arnautovic last season, give him the penalty when he was, you know, he needed it. So, no, fair play to him. And as I said, we deserve to go in. I think with the lead in at the end of the half, I thought we done well. Yeah,
I totally agree, mate. I don't. You know, I thought the performance we were unlucky not to get a bit more.
I mean, they had some half chances. I mean, the one where the ball come over to Fernandez and he just miscontrolled it. I mean, if he brings that down, he's got a strike. You know, so they had a couple of half chances. We had a couple of half chances.
I think that was the pressure telling.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think that was the pressure telling. It was a lot of like, and the thing is for them, if they felt that pressure today, imagine what it's going to be like last week. And Leicester are a very, very competent team. You know, they're not. But dare I say, they're more dangerous on the break than us. You know, they're a very competent team, and I don't know. I just think I don't think there's enough characters in this Man United team to get them to where they have to go. But at the end of the day, I don't give a shit. I've got to applaud Moyes again. I thought his tactics were bang on. I thought, you know, everyone seems to be playing for him, and I've got to say that, you know, as a defensive unit, we're looking very solid going forward. Like if we can keep them players, if I was critical, I think he could have brought someone on just to stretch him a little bit more. I think Nobes was getting a bit bypassed in the midfield. Not down to him, it's just down to his age and the players that they've got in the midfield got a lot more energy in the midfield. I think they could have bought someone on just to stretch him a little bit more, maybe Anderson. But
I agree. I'd like to have seen him maybe go for it a bit, because we had nothing to lose. Maybe chuck Anderson and Lanzini on. And you've got to, you know, take your hat off to him for getting them
basically up for a game where they could have quite easily gone into their shell and nobody would have blamed them. Getting them up for a game, getting them motivated, and you know that basically meant fuck all, because you know, barring a miracle, that we were safe. So he's got to take credit. You know, I'm very quick. You know, as I said before, you know, I don't want him. I don't like him. I don't like his style. But you know, if I'm going to give criticism, I'm not. You know, I'm not the sort of guy that's going to sit here and pretend I'm right. You know,
I know you're saying you don't like his style, but I think we've played some of our best football in the last 3 or 4 games this whole season.
Yeah, so some of our passing's been very slick the last few games.
It's a stat. I know Nicky likes my stats. I just seen it on. Mark Noble has created 14 goal scoring chances in West Ham's last 2 away league outings: 8 versus Norwich, 6 versus United. One more than his previous 18 away league appearances combined before.
Crazy, isn't it?
And he's been given that number 10 free role.
Yeah.
Look, we know he ain't got the legs to play there all the time, but I think he played really well tonight, Noble. Them little balls around the corner, little 1-2s with Souček, Rice. We all wish Noble was 10 years younger, but his game has changed in the last 2 or 3 games.
Yeah, since he's sort of like he had a game out of the side, didn't he? And he come back in, and he's been like a different player. He just seems to be he's ticking everything over in our midfield. As much as Rice and Souček are getting all the plaudits, and I know we're saying, you know, there's times in the game when you look at Noble and you think he looks tired or you think he looks a bit leggy, but he's the one that's connecting all the dots. You know, he's the one that's putting it all together.
He's looking for the ball a lot more, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, it's not only that as well. I think he's a sort of player at the minute as well. If you're under a bit of pressure, he'll put a foot on it and he'll keep the ball for you.
Yeah. And
take the pressure off.
Yeah, we haven't really mentioned. We mentioned him at the beginning, but Bowen again, he works his socks off, doesn't he?
Yeah.
For West Ham.
Yep. He took some kicks today as well, didn't he?
He took a lot of digs today.
He takes them every week. That's the thing. They target him. They know he's the danger, and you know he's going to draw fouls. He's going to draw penalties, and he'll score goals. You know, I think he's been quite unlucky with a few of his shots. They just people are going towards him, gravitating towards him. But I think that's how he's going to create a lot of goals for whoever's playing up front with him next year.
He had that chance, didn't he, in the second half, which was saved by De Gea, but he took the deflection anyway after. But once he gets goals to his game, he's going to be unbelievable for West Ham.
He's probably a bit unlucky that lockdown came, because he scored just before lockdown, didn't he? He scored against Liverpool. No, it wasn't Liverpool.
No, Southampton.
Yeah. And he was very good against Arsenal. He's been excellent. He's been excellent since lockdown. I think, like, even the 2 that we were shit, he was good. He was good. Yeah. He's been quiet in 1 or 2, but his work rate and his desire to do something is, it's evident that he belongs in this league. He wants to show everyone that he belongs in this league. I think he's got about 4 or 5 assists since we come back from lockdown, but it's just a goal. Whereas I think if we'd have carried on playing, I think he would have scored in the Spurs game, because I think at the time they was in such shit form and that, and I think he would have kept that going. But
you know what I like about him though, mate, is that he always wants the ball, and when he gets the ball, he always looks to take people on and create something. Yeah. And not only that, his set pieces as well. 9 times out of 10, they're spot on. And he might just be the sort of player that we was missing at West Ham. We need someone like him, and he's got something to prove. He wants to prove, as you said, that he is a Premier League player. He scored a lot of goals in the Championship last season.
Him and Souček are what we needed. Him and Souček, because Souček, I was saying this to Gio rang me at fucking 7:30 this morning, and I was chatting to him, and we've finally, after all these years of searching for the fucking defensive midfielder, well, not defensive midfielder, the box-to-box midfielder we needed to give a bit of energy in it. We've basically been playing with one decent midfielder forever. You know what I mean? And especially with Noble missing, and then Noble sort of like dropping in and out of form, can't do it every week and all of that sort of thing. It's been absolutely like evident that You know, we've always been missed. That's why we was going for the likes of Carvalho and people like that. And you know, we finally found someone to play alongside Rice.
It's good to have that. It's good to have that, but we need to have good replacements just in case they get injured.
Yeah.
We need to have competition. We need to have competition for them two, that they're always on top of their game. We know they're not going to be 10 out of 10s, 9 out of 10s week in, week out. No player can be. But if we just get someone challenging them for first team places and we have good replacements to come on, there is at the moment, there is a good squad there. They need to get rid of a couple of players, bring a few good replacements in. I know that David Moyes wants to look at younger championship players, which is good. I like that. But we also need to get experience in there as well, because you don't want to rely on these players that ain't played in the Premier League before.
Yeah, that's the worry. The thing is, saying about Souček where he gets box to box, do you not think now Souček's come, and we were saying the way he's got that disciplined game about him, where he knows when to go forward, know when to get back. It's then made Rice into a box to box player. Yeah,
and that's what we were saying like before we signed Souček. That's what we needed, someone like to him to play along Declan Rice, because Declan Rice, it allows him to go forward, and you've got Souček, who is quality to sit, and then vice versa. When Souček goes forward, Rice sits. Because today, the way Rice was breaking up that midfield, the play, you know, he's getting better and better, Rice. And do you know what? I don't think he will go in the summer, but I'll be fucking gutted if we do lose him, because just as we're starting to build a good sort of midfield, we'll let someone like Rice go. But I'm confident, this might come back to bite me, but I'm confident we'll keep Declan Rice, and I think Declan Rice might want to stay.
Yeah,
I was just going to say though, you saying about having Souček there, they do seem to have an understanding there. If one goes, one drops, so they do seem to have a almost telepathic link with each other on the pitch, because the way they've both sort of slotted in when the other one's gone forward has been brilliant.
And that could be key to keeping him, because he looks like he's enjoying football. He's playing with a smile on his face, which you want to see. Like you said, there seems to be a bit of a bond, bit of a link up between them two now in the midfield, a good understanding of how each other's, even with Noble, how the three of them are playing and working well together. I just think I'm still under the thing, if we sort of give Rice a decent contract in the summer, like another contract and a decent one, try and match his ambition, I think he'll give us at least another season, possibly two, depending on how next season goes.
Yeah. And another thing I like about him is we look like we can get a fair few goals from midfield now, chipping with the strikers.
Yeah.
As well.
And that's what I mean. We've put a lot of pressure on Haller this season. It's been hard for him on his own up there. Antonio's done well up top on his own, but them two especially Antonio. What was that? His 8th goal tonight since lockdown.
Eight since lockdown. Yeah,
he's been unreal. He's been a shining light in that team, and he ain't single-handedly kept us up, but his goals have certainly played a massive part. And on Sunday though, I'll be honest, I'd like to see Moisey change it up a bit. Maybe give people like Yarmolenko a start, Anderson a start, maybe Haller a start. Just mix it up a little bit. It's the last game of the season. We're not going.
I'll be honest with you, Roy. I can see a few of them names not being here to be. If I'm 100% honest, he's got a side. Of course, you need backups, but the names you've just mentioned there: Haller, Antonio, Anderson,
Yarmolenko.
They're on big money. They're not, they're not cheap. You've got Yarmolenko that's on over 100k a week. You've got Anderson that's on over 100k a week. You've got Haller who's reportedly on 130k a week. These are just reports. I can't see West Ham sitting there with £250,000 on a bench in wages a week.
I agree with maybe letting Anderson go, but Haller, I'd definitely like to keep Haller.
I don't think we've used him right. At the end of the day, look, it comes that we're going to talk about this in a minute, but at the end of the day, it comes down to: do you honestly like? answer me honestly. Do you think that Yarmolenko's worth over 100k a week?
I don't think any football player is worth 100.
No. In today's market, when you think what you can get for that sort of money, do you think he's worth?
I think Yarmolenko's a good squad player.
Good squad player. He's a £50,000 a week player, in my opinion.
When he come to the club and we signed him on that contract, then I think he was an £100,000 a week player. Now he's not, and that's the problem. We're not in a situation where we can have £100,000 a week players sitting on a bench.
Yeah, and then do you honestly think? Let me ask Graham this. Graham, do you think that Anderson is sort of an £120,000 a week player when he plays?
On current form, no. I think
on any form.
I just think he just looks like. So I agree with Ryan. I don't think any player's worth £100,000 a week.
£100,000 a week. And look, I know there are players in the Premier League earning a lot more money than that, like Ozil and things like that. And you could look at them and at £350,000 a week. But for a club like West Ham, paying someone £130,000, £140,000 a week that decides to turn up once every 10 games, and I know he was
interested.
Yeah, and that's it. Yeah, and they're not looking interested for £130, £140. See, I wouldn't have a problem giving Antonio £100,000 a week. Because the very least, I know he's not the most talented footballer, but at the very least, I know he's going to fucking run his bollocks off, and he's going to do his best.
Yeah, I mean, Anderson just looks disinterested.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, I think that's a little bit of our downfall with attracting these players. I think it's always a danger when you're attracting these big name players like Anderson that was has been linked to Man United and all that. You're offering them that sort of money, and you're expecting them not to be here for the money. You know what I mean? Let's be fair. A lot of them wouldn't be here any other fucking for anything else.
That's the only.
It's like I've said to Scott. And me and Scott have had chats about this, haven't we? Like, if you go to a club like Man United or Man City or Liverpool or Chelsea, and you're on £100,000 a week, you're expected to win things for that money. They're on £100,000 a week at West Ham, and they're just expected to keep you in the Premier League.
But I think like for these, we said it before. These when you pay big money for these foreign signings, that's the sort of money you got to pay to get them here. You're not going to get them here on 40, 50 grand a week. They're not interested in that, and they're not coming to West Ham because they love West Ham. Let's be honest; half of them don't know the history of the club, or probably half of them never even heard of West Ham before. Like we signed them, but that's what you have to pay, unfortunately, these days for clubs like West Ham. I mean, Man City can afford to pay these players that, and they can sit on the bench. When we have big name players out, it affects us because we haven't got like for like players in the squad to replace them. But I'll definitely give Haller another season. I like Haller. I think there is times this season. I know sometimes he does look lazy, but I think that's just his game. But you can't. His goal scoring record in Germany was good because he had 2 or 3 up top with him. You know what I mean?
With people like Anderson
all season on his own.
With people like Anderson, and I know I keep on picking Anderson out because, man, I think Haller has been the same at times. But you can excuse him a little bit because, we're not really playing his game. And he's finding it difficult because we're not playing the way that he's used to playing, and maybe he's just adapting and all that. But for me, like the very least you can do if you're on that sort of money is put in a shot. I can forgive bad form. I can't forgive lack of effort, and that's for me when you're earning that sort of money. That's the very least you could do, and I think Anderson does that at times. Anderson is a wonderful, wonderful player. If we can get 10, 15 games like he had against Norwich out of him a season, I'd say absolutely he's fucking fantastic. I wouldn't want to lose him. But to be fair, last season he probably had about 6 or 7 fantastic games. This season he's had 1.
For the money that you're on, that's not good enough.
Yeah, and for that sort of money, like it's just not worth it. But that brings me on to my next point: is we'll wrap up the Man United game first. I know that they scored. Did you blame any of the defenders? They all went one way, didn't they?
We looked a bit static, but I had a feeling that United. But once again, it's an early second half goal we can see. That's one thing we need to sort of get out of our game. We've done it against Watford as well, but the one thing I would say is when we did concede, we didn't panic. We didn't We didn't just sit back and let them attack us. We thought, no, do you know what? We're here to play football. We're going to match and we want to win this game as well. And that's one thing I like that we've done. And we've done that quite a few times since lockdown. Take away the first 2 games against Wolves and Spurs. But I think that's one thing I was glad with tonight, that we didn't shut up shop, let them soak up all the pressure and look for the winner. But it was a great finish, great strike from a great young talent. And but it's a great point, isn't it? It keeps us off. Mathematically, we're safe now. We needed a point. We'd have all taken a point. We're probably disappointed we ain't got 3, but yeah.
What are you wearing?
It's me. My uncle gave me ages ago Harlequins shirt. He's Harlequins fan rugby. So I've been wearing that today.
Okay.
You fucking love it, Graham. You love it.
I thought you was wearing an Everton shirt, an old Everton shirt.
No,
it does look like an Everton shirt, doesn't it?
Harlequins shirt.
I knew it was a rugby shirt because of the cougar on the. And I thought that was just you letting us know that you're a bit of a cougar, Gray.
All in all, though, in summary, good performance. Really good performance.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. I say, even after they went 1-0, they didn't look like scoring again after that, really. I thought we looked pretty comfortable.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and that's the thing. I can't knock, you little spells at the start of the second half in the last 2 games have probably let us down a bit, overall performances. But, let's be honest, we weren't expecting to get much out of that tonight, and we went there and did a job and frustrated them, made it hard for them, and were unlucky not to nick more points. So
and it's always good to piss off Man United fans and wind them up more, because you see that geezer's video the other day. The Man United see the review geezer, he didn't have a clue what he was talking about. Didn't he say that Brooklyn played in the World Cup final for us and all shit like that?
Yeah,
and, it's fucking.
So that immediately null and voids any opinion.
Listen, I watched that video. I've watched that video over and over. The thing I've got, look, I don't want to get political, and I never want to get political because I'm not a political person. I sit dead centre. I don't, lean to the left, lean to the right, anything like that. I don't give a shit about politics and everything else. But he's sort of sitting there, and West Ham fans, you're all fat, bald, and ugly for a start. Then I logged off because I thought, is he looking at me? Is he looking through the fire?
But mate, he said that, and he looked like an anorexic Andy Carroll. Who ain't had a wash for 6 months.
He had half a moustache. This half of his moustache was missing. If you look properly, you can't really see him because he looks like he lives in a cave. But it's like you're all fat, bald, and ugly. You probably all voted Brexit. What else did he say? You're scum of the earth. You're all scum of the earth, living in the East London slums. I think to myself, like,
oh yeah, because fucking Manchester's a right fucking jolly place.
He don't even live in Manchester. If you listen to him, he's like a Welsh fella.
Well, that's fucking even worse. Nothing against Wales, but
no, but I'm just saying, like, he's probably one of these geezers that claim to be one of these woke people, and there he is making assumptions about where you live and all that, mate. Fucking, doing it to a whole fact, just brushing everyone with the same fucking, like, tarring everyone with the same brush. And I'm thinking to myself, like, come on, man. You know what I mean? Like,
mate, he's a sort of geezer that don't wash for about 6 weeks.
Mate, he had half a moustache. I don't take people fucking seriously who've got half a moustache.
Anyway, fuck them. We've upset them. That's what we love to do. That's what we love about being West Ham, upsetting the big boys, and we still do it now, don't we? But
I was saying this right. This is like we'll get into sort of like the how you felt tonight, because obviously I'm happy. I'm happy that we're in good form. I'm happy that I'm actually seeing some. Well, I'm not seeing it, but I'm watching it. Some good football. But I've got to feel a little bit, let down by the season, because it's not good enough. Once again, we go into every season with high hopes and all that sort of shit, and you'll always see these fucking videos of me when I was optimistic, being pulled out of the fucking Spurs fans' arseholes, and everyone, including their own fan base, thinks I recorded them this year and want to try and mug me off and all of that. But you have to be optimistic, and you know, it's another. For me, it's another disappointment. It's another year that we've
it's a massive disappointment, mate. Of course it is, but at this precise moment, I'm just glad that we've sort of turned it around, found a bit of form, and we're still a Premier League team, because now it gives us a chance to try to restart and build in the summer and come back bigger and better next season, and you know, and try to massively improve on this season. It's disappointing, you know. The season, like,
I'm trying to get something out for the cat out of the bag, but that's all right.
No, it's just, it's got to be, you know, it's of course it's a disappointing season, but at this precise moment, I'm happy that we're still a Premier League team, and I'll be honest, mate, I'm happy with the form over the last 5 games. You know, I am. I think we're playing some really decent football. You know, we're knocking it about. Big players are turning up when we need them. We're scoring goals. It's probably come at the wrong time for the season to end for us, because we'd love now for it to carry on. But it is where it is. You know, David Moyes has got a big job in the summer to recruit the right players to go again next season and keep important players like Declan Rice for one.
I mean, the thing is as well, it's not a big gap between the end of this season and the beginning of the next. You know, so that is, I suppose that's one.
That's the thing. Is, you know, overall, you sit there and look at the performances we've had, and you sit there and think, where were these performances, you know, when we needed them beforehand? Why has it took us this long to get playing this way? Why is it, you know, and yeah, the season overall is disappointing, as you know, per the norm of most of our seasons. Let's be honest, but. You know, now it's time to push on and build. Like Ryan said, you know, the form's turned around. We're playing some good stuff, and you know, we're coming to the end of the season at the wrong time. But we need to now build on this, and this is where this summer. We probably say it every summer, but this summer now is a big summer. This is a summer where we've got to go all out to keep the Rices. You know, Souček's a signed deal by all accounts. That's going to be done and dusted as soon as transfer window opens back up. You know, so we need to build right and plan right. And
they've probably got an announcement video ready to go out in the morning for Souček, because I think that's a done deal. Now we're mathematically saved. You watch it'll all get announced tonight or tomorrow morning or something.
Yeah,
massive signing, and it's a great signing.
Yeah, exactly. And I
think it's a steal. I think it's for the money.
And I bet you any money that there was other Premier League teams looking at that thinking, shit, we've missed out there, because West Ham got an agreement done straight away, which was good. That's unlike us, because usually Sullivan would have just thought, nah, we'll see how it goes. You know, we'll wait till the end of the season. But David Moyes has identified him as a player that he wanted, and that they got that deal done straight away. And £13 million in today's market for a player like Souček.
Exactly.
That's a great bargain.
Absolute bargain.
Yeah, you just look at the goal. What's he got? 4 goals.
I don't think his money's massive either, because his wages. I don't think his wages are massive, because he came from Prague, where I think he was earning about 20k a week.
So he'll probably get a nice little pay rise.
Yeah, probably double his money.
Yeah, probably get a nice little. That's probably why he's playing so well. You watch him be proper shit next season now.
Exactly. He don't strike me as that type of player. You know, he's one of them that looks like he plays for the love of the game. You know,
he's a winner. He looks like a winner. He looks like he wins every game. And I know he don't come across as an aggressive player, but I think he's got that side of it in his game. I think he can be.
One second, this cat's really agging me. I've just got to give her something quickly.
Go on then.
I mean, the thing is,
I wonder what he was doing. I thought he was putting a roast chicken in the oven or something.
Stick. No, I mean, but with Souček, he throws himself at everything, doesn't he? I mean, look at his goal against Watford.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He was like bloody Superman.
The thing is, half our players throw themselves at the ball more than Roberto did the old time he was in goal. And that's something that's been really good to see, that we are putting our bodies on the arm. We are diving in front of the ball and trying to block shots.
It's what it's about, though, Scott. It's what it's about as a footballer. You know, you train all week. You can look the bollocks in training, but for 90 minutes you've got to turn up. Look, we know we're not going to win week in, week out. We know that. We're West Ham. We ain't got the players like the Man Cities, the Liverpools, you know, that can go and do that week in, week out. But all we ask from our players is fucking commitment and passion, and just, you know, at least show that you care. And that's what we haven't done a lot this season. But the last since lockdowns, take away the first 2 games, it took us a couple of games to get back into it. I think we've been good. And as I said, we've played some good football, you know, and it's been refreshing to sit there. How many times have you sat there in the last 4 games and thought, do you know what, I'm really looking forward to watching us tonight?
Well, that's exactly it. That's like we said, going there tonight. You sit there, and normally the position we're in down the bottom, we know we've always got that shock result in us, and we can put in a performance like that. But you're sitting there and thinking, well, yeah, we could nick something here going into this game. You know, you thought, all right, maybe because they got slapped at the weekend by Chelsea, they'd turn up and, you know, put us to the sword a bit. But we stood firm, and like you said, you're going into every game quite confident that we can get a result out of it. Whereas,
and let's be honest, Scott. Let's be honest. The West Ham of old, going into games against Norwich and Watford, we probably would have lost them.
Yeah, exactly.
We went there with confidence. We put 4 past Norwich, relegated them. Antonio's, you know, beating Watford 3-1. Antonio might have relegated Watford as well. You know, and these are the sort of games that we haven't turned up for. And as we said, we know we're not going to win week in, week out. We know that. But as long as players give that little bit of heart, passion, want to show that they want to win, then that's all we ask as West Ham fans. You know, we don't expect to start the season winning trophies, and as much as we want to win a trophy, we know that anything, if we did win an FA Cup, it'd be a fucking massive bonus. But this season, David Moyes, because he will be the manager, there's no doubt about that, and I think he's earned the right to have a crack at it.
I
think he can build his own squad now. He can build the team he wants rather than inherit.
We have to find an identity. That's the one thing we have to do. We have to find our identity, because there's so much of a mishmash of different people's players and different people's this and different people's, you know, like we've still got players over from the, you know, from the Crest, like the Cresswells of this world, you know, left over from the Allardyce era. We've had a couple of Bilic players come and go. You know, there's still a couple of them in now. There's no sort of stamp on the side, you know what I mean? And that's why we're a little bit unbalanced, because there's different players from different eras and all of that sort of stuff. But you know, we have to give someone like, you know, Moyes, you know, the trust to sell who he wants to sell. And to buy who he wants to buy. And we have to let him...
Oh, go on. Sorry, mate. Go on.
Oh, go on, mate.
No, I was just about to say, the sad thing is, and I've seen a few comments on Twitter already, you know, there's actually people out there that are still against Moyes, and I understand that. Look, he wasn't everyone's first choice. You know, he wasn't my first choice, but I've always said, as long as he comes in, of course I'm going to back him, because I want him to do well. I want West Ham to win games. I want us to stay in the Premier League. I don't want David Moyes to foul just so I can stick my fingers up at the board and say, told you so. Because that's wrong, in my opinion. And to me, David Moyes hasn't done nothing wrong. The last time he come in, he kept us up. That's what he was meant to do. They sacked him. They've gone back to him, and fair play to him. I mean, he probably didn't have a lot of options out there, but he's come back again. He's got his head down. He brought in the right backroom staff that he needed. He's brought in a couple of good signings in January, and he's got us playing, as I said, in these last few games, decent football. So he does deserve that chance. But I don't want people now to the start of next season, people wanting him to start off shit. So they can say, "Oh, Moyes out."
Sometimes I think that's the problem, right? I think this is where a lot of our fan base fall down as a fan base, is the fact that there are some people that are so stuck in their ways. They'll say something at the beginning, and because they're not, you know, they're not quite.
They don't like to be proved wrong.
Yeah, they don't like to be proved wrong for a start. But then there's people on the other side that, you know, as soon as they're saying the opposite, and then as soon as it starts going right, they want to start shoving it in people's faces. Like, you know, be humble, whatever side of the fence you're on. You know, if you was right, you was right. Just, you know, give yourself a little smirks, you know, to yourself, and you know, don't get on everyone's back that had a different opinion to you. But I think that's what the problem is at times, is that they don't want to admit their opinion wasn't happy, and wasn't happy, wasn't right.
If I'm against the player or against the manager, I want them to prove me fucking right.
Yeah, exactly.
I want them to make me look silly. I want them to make, because then I know if they're doing that, West Ham are doing well, and that's all I care about. West Ham doing well.
But that's the thing. There's so many people.
The managers failing, so are the team. So
it all sort of stems back from the Allardyce era, doesn't it? Really, like, you know, all the way back to then is, you know, it was sort of half in, half out, and, you know, I'm not wrong, and all that sort of thing. Like, just fucking suck it up, eat a bit of humble pie once in a while. You know what I mean? There's so many people that, as you say, they would rather see the whole fucking thing fall apart. You know, when it comes to the board, when it comes to the manager, when it comes to everything, really, they'd rather see the whole fucking thing fall apart, us go down to the Championship, us fucking be relegated, us lose all our best players, the player that they say the shit plays shit, than sit there and admit that they're wrong. And that's it. You know, we have to change as a fan base. There's too many people out there, and I think it's the old sort of East End fucking feistiness in some people that want to fucking fight every cunt that don't want to agree with them. You know what I mean? Like, and, you know, look, there's more important things going on in the world at the minute. There's more important things than, you know, you being right, or if someone don't fucking agree with you that you want to fucking cave their fucking head in. Like, chill out a little bit. It's football at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Like, it's, you know, it's fucking not. If you think fucking Anderson shit, like you know, I think Anderson ain't very good, and he comes out fucking looking like prime Messi last year. Good for us.
Yeah, but the thing is, you can go back to the sort of Mark Noble argument. Like with me, I've always backed Mark Noble. I love Mark Noble to bits. When he plays bad, I'll say he's played bad, but when he plays good, I'll make sure I praise him. You know, I've sat here for a few seasons, and I've seen people, you, Scott. You've all sort of slated Noble, but then you've praised him when you have to. You know, that's what football's about. You know, you can't. You know, you will have players that you don't like. I had was it Masuaku? You know, when he first came in, I wasn't a big fan of him, but he sort of won me around a bit. You know, that's what football's about. You know, you can't always. You know, you're not going to like every player. You're not going to like every manager. You know, people. You are going to have arguments, but that's what football's about. But at the end of the day,
I don't like the board, Roy. I don't like them. I've never liked them. I don't trust them. I don't think they're the right thing.
Anyone apart from Karen Hugh does.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I've never liked them, never trusted them, and all that. But when they're right, fucking just stand up and say they're right. You know what I mean? When they went and spent 100 million quid that summer, you know, whether I don't know what their fucking reasons for spending it. I've got a good idea, but you don't know for 100% what their reasons were for spending it. What am I going to say? That still cunts. No, you know, just say, you know, and the more you give them sort of praise, the more they might fucking think, hold on a minute, they like that. You know what I mean? Like, let's have a bit more of that.
We'll do some more of that.
Yeah, but it's like, as I said, they've got their heads stuck firmly up their asses. I said this last week, you know what I mean? And look, we're not even talking about the board, so maybe I should just drop it. But yeah, it's probably a discussion for another time. But
anyway, right.
I think Golden Sullivan just hacked into your computer then.
When you were saying about like with Moyes and getting his own players in and things like and finding identity, the fact that he's not changing a lot of players in the starting 11. I know, you know, you don't really change the starting 11 when games are going right, when players are playing well. But the fact that he's very reluctant to change players from the starting 11 each week, I seem to think that them players in that 11 are the players that he's looking at. Like, these are the players I want. I'm not too sure about the rest. And I think that's what you're going to see in the transfer window is them players that are sitting on the bench at the moment, not getting games.
Yeah.
Probably not Hilaire. I think Hilaire is someone who's in his plans. I think he's just got this game plan with Antonio at the moment and it's working. And that's why Hilaire's not getting inside. But I feel that them players that we're seeing on the bench week in, week out, and are only seem to be getting games when people get injured, are going to be the ones that get moved on. The likes of Anderson, the likes of Lanzini. I've got a feeling that's what he's doing. He's trying to build an 11 of the identity of players that he wants in the side, and
add to it.
Yeah, get rid of these high-end earners and the players that are sitting on the benches that we can't have sitting on the bench. And then bring in the youngsters and bring in some talent from the championship to then implement into that starting 11 to make it stronger.
He's getting that spine of the team right, isn't he? And then he's just trying to build outwards. And I think you're right. When you look at players like Anderson that ain't been playing, Lanzini, I think Yarmolenko, maybe they're sort of players that they are looking to maybe ship out and replace with younger Championship upcoming players. And look, I'm all for that. And the thing is, I've seen a lot of people. Maybe I should come off Twitter because sometimes it's a bit toxic. But we've always said, we want to see young up and coming youth coming through the West Ham way and all that. As soon as Moyes says he's identified that, they're all like, fucking, what's he targeting Championship players for and all things. I think, look, the bloke can't win. Whatever he does, he can't win with some fans. And that's what I don't like, As Nicky said earlier, we all want to eat humble pie because West Ham would be doing well. And if you're going to give me humble pie, I'm happy to have it with cream, ice cream, whatever, custard, whatever you want to fucking serve it up with, mate.
I'll eat it with spunk if it means we're doing all right.
I won't even take it out of the foil. I'll just eat the fucking in the box. That's what you want, isn't it?
That's it. And the thing is, we got Grady coming back in. Coming back. I think what West Brom are going to try and have a cheeky bid for him, but hopefully we can keep him because I think he fits. I think he fits into our setup now. I think he fits into the side quite well. Fornals will probably be one of the people that miss out, but again, I think he's a player that's grown.
I think he plays central. If you look at the way where he played for his old club, he played central all the time. He's probably just playing on the left. Just at the minute, Anderson ain't playing well, Lanzini ain't playing well, and I thought he had a good game tonight. I thought his movement was excellent.
Yeah, I think as the season's gone on, he's sort of grown into it, hasn't he?
Do you think so? If you look at Grady coming back, could you see Fornals replacing Noble? If we stick with this system that we're playing, Fornals being the replacement for Noble in that third midfield role.
Yeah, because look, Antonio is going to get a game regardless. In my opinion, I think he's earned the fucking right to get games until he drops his form. But Grady, for me, like if they sell him, they're mad because
I think so.
He's more of he's more of a threat than Anderson at this particular minute in time. And he's, if the rumours are true, we'll talk about this in a minute, that we haven't got any money. You can sell Anderson and quite comfortably say that Diangana can come in and do as good a job, if not better.
The thing is, you let Anderson go. The fact that the fee that you'll get, because you're going to get in excess of 20 million. The fact that you're cutting his wages off the wage bill will then allow you to go and get two players that you could have a bit of potential, two risky players, so to speak, to replace him.
The thing is as well, with having a player like Diangana coming back, he's coming back twice the player we sent him before we sent him out on loan. He's just been promoted. He's confident. He's going to be toughened up playing in the Championship, and he's probably going to save you spending 35, 40 million on another player.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's a ready-made replacement for someone that we can.
Oh, he's gone again.
Well, fucking, I'm doing that earlier. For 35, 40 million. For someone we're going to sell for that much, and it saves you. He's a ready-made replacement. It's just as effective. But this is the thing. Like these rumours coming out, given to the same old fucking websites that we got nothing to spend, and all of this. It's true. You know what I mean? Like if you look at, hello, Gray.
Why is it every show Graham's in, halfway through he just pops off and does something like, I've got the sprouts on or something like that?
Getting me charge, I think the battery's going.
Yeah, so with
shop.
Who was I talking about?
Fuck those.
Zero money. Yeah.
Zero money.
Sean's got a very good record of being right. Last season he said we had 25 million to spend. We spent 25 million on the nose. He knows that there's no money. If he's saying it at this stage of the season, it's true. He's heard it from Sullivan himself. Look, I can't moan that we ain't got no money to spend, because I don't think a lot of clubs will have money to spend. Do I think Sullivan would use it as an excuse? Yes. Do I think it's an excuse? No, I don't. I don't think we've got money. That's simple as that.
I think that article yesterday was just a little bit of a. I think sometimes that website, Claret and Hugh, Sean, whatever his name is. I think sometimes he puts stories out just for a reaction because he gets people clicking on his site. You know, I honestly do. I don't think there's West Ham have got money to spend in the summer. It won't be a lot, but of course they've got money to spend.
No, I don't know. I just this is the thing that worries me though. I think it's a sort of a precursor to the following when we.
This is the same site that said Pellegrini had 35 million to spend and he spent 125, 130 million.
Yeah, I do understand.
It may be a case of one in, one out. You don't, it might be a case of generating money.
I think they're sort of laying the foundations so we're not too surprised when we sell someone of Anderson's size. I don't think it'll be Rice, although I wouldn't put that past them. And then when we all fucking sit there going, why'd you sell Rice? They're going, well, we did say you ain't got no money. We have to COVID, blah 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 blah. But it's a precursor to put the feelers out to see, how we would react. And look, I can't blame the club. I think they've been all right through COVID. They've paid everyone. They've not made sure anyone's fucking not got their money. They've refunded everyone, although there's some fucking ups and downs about whether people did actually get their money or not. Look, I didn't ask my money back, so I'm all right. But you've got to see that they've lost money during this pandemic, and let's be honest, when you look at the way it's going now, I don't think crowds are coming back anytime soon. Me personally.
No, that's the thing. It's an unpredictable situation at the moment. I think we're in a better position while the vaccine seems to be coming, but that's it. But we understand that. We understand.
You say that there was a debate yesterday that the Prime Minister turned around and said, there might not be one this year and there might not be one next year.
Yeah, but we understand that. But the problem is with our board have history of not turning around and saying we ain't got no money, and they will just use this as an excuse, and that's why they put it out. If it's them who's put it out there, it's an excuse for them not to put their hands in their pockets and dish out some cash. That's all it is. At the end of the day, we know what they're like, so nothing surprises. It wouldn't surprise me if we come out and spend 100 million and sitting there saying, "Oh, we've got no money, we spend 100 million." Nothing surprises me with them owners, and that's the thing. At the end of the day, we know times are unusual and times are difficult, but at the end of the day, football's football. We know that you only need one club to start spending money and things will start happening.
Yeah, the thing is, it's and I put this out on Twitter, because there's such unprecedented times. Our owner's meant to be a billionaire. Pump 50 million back into the club as a loan. Interest-free loan until we get back on our feet.
Yeah, exactly. That's it.
At the end of the day, we need improvements in the squad. We need them, and that's what I get worried about when we have these sort of like little surges of form just before we end the season. We seem to have these little surges of form just before anything fucking significant happens, and
I would get away with it again.
I think we just need to maybe see what happens. Like it's. The season finishes on Sunday. Transfer window opens Monday. So let's just see what happens. You never know. I'm not going to listen to a silly little website that, as I said, is clickbait. Probably sitting there bored. Oh, how can I wind the fans up? Let's say this, see the reaction. And he gets hits on his website. That's why I don't read it. I don't click on it. Don't give him the satisfaction. Him and his little minions can say what they want. If it happens, if we don't spend money, then... Well, he's right, isn't he? But I'll wait to be proved wrong by
there's definitely an element of that.
Just to clarify, you're not a fan, right?
I'm not what?
You're not a fan. Just to clarify that. I couldn't really tell from what you're saying. You're not a fan.
No, look, at the end of the day, Ryan's completely right. It's sort of...
I'm not up their arse.
It's sort of propaganda mixed with clickbait, mixed with all different. It's just like it's not for fans. It's a tool, and they've sold their, in my opinion, they've sold their soul for exclusive clickable fucking titles. And they go against the fans sometimes, and put the upper hand to Sullivan. That's why personally I don't like it. But I've heard rumours this week. With the In the Know news, I've heard ex-employee might be giving it up because he gets so much abuse on Twitter. Now, for me, I've never been a fan of In the Knows. I think it's look. I know X, and I like him, and I like Dave, and I like what they do over on the West Ham Way, and I've got no problem with him, using his platform as an In the Know thing. But for me, my opinion is it damages the club in ways, because you're getting information out there that sometimes they don't want out there.
I just miss the surprises.
Yeah, no, it's not only.
I miss the surprising of looking on teletext and
I know what you mean, but that's my opinion. They've been pulled up before about team news and all of that sort of thing, but that information is being fed to them by sometimes people that want that news out there. And the thing is with X, I think he's very balanced in the way he gives his news. He doesn't just let you know what they want you to hear. He tells you everything. If there's going to be a way to do it like that. The danger is if he goes away, then everybody's going to be clicking and relying on Claret and Hugh. And that is where the Sullivan propaganda machine will fucking go into overdrive. It'll be like, you won't know what to believe, what not to believe, what he wants to tell you, what not, and you can't leave it with just that. You can't leave it with just an entity that has got a
vested interest,
a track record of leading fans down the fucking pan to give Sullivan their upper hand on them. You can't leave it with that, in my opinion, because it's dangerous.
I think what X does is good, but what I find now is that people are so impatient. They just want to know everything like now, and instead of giving X a bit of time to sort of get the news out there, they're hounding him, and it must be tough. It must be tough. His phone must be like going off 24/7. But I can understand all the leaks and all that. It doesn't benefit the club. It makes us look embarrassing sometimes. You remember the days when Jack Sullivan and Dave Sullivan used to do it, and fair play to Jack Sullivan. He stopped doing it. He grew up a bit, and he don't do it no more. And when you see the Sullivan kids walking around, what was it, with Lacazette shirts on, thinking we're going to sign him, we end up with fucking, I can't even remember who we fucking signed. Zaza. You know what I mean? That's like looking at a Ferrari and getting a push bike. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Here's what you could have won, like on Bullseye. They drag out like a fucking top of the range caravan. Here's what you could have had, but you get a fucking It's just ridiculous. And look, I think maybe we can have this conversation more in depth on the end of season review and all that. But I think tonight we should just be happy that we're a Premier League team. We're mathematically safe. No pressure on us on Sunday. We can go there. I'd like to see us relegate Villa, if I'm honest. But then again, I think, I don't know. I can see Watford beating Arsenal. I can see them turning over Arsenal, because Arsenal now have got one eye on the FA Cup. It's massive for them to win the FA Cup now. Do you know one thing I like about the FA Cup final is that it's Chelsea and Arsenal, two teams that have dominated the FA Cup for so long, and I'm glad that there's not a team in the final this year that haven't been in the FA Cup final for a long time, and they can't celebrate with their fans by having their fans there. This is Arsenal's 21st FA Cup final.
Yeah.
The greedy bastards. You know what I mean? But
we've had 5.
Yeah, I think it's nice that it's two teams that have been in there, and it's still a sad day because look, there's Chelsea and Arsenal fans that would love to be at the final on Saturday next week. But look, I'm just happy we're a Premier League team, mate. And as I said earlier, it's nice to end the season on a bit of a high.
Exactly.
That's my fucking opinion.
That's it. That is the thing. At the end of the day, it's been, as we said, disappointing, but it's a positive high going into the end of the season and roll on Sunday. Let's hope we go another decent performance. Roll them over. If they go down, they go down. If they stay up, they stay up. It doesn't bother me either way. To be fair,
I'm just glad we got the job done before Sunday.
Yeah. I ain't a lover of
bag of nerves on Sunday.
Not a lover of Villa, so I don't give a monkey's who goes down. To be honest,
I prefer Watford go down. If I'm honest,
just because of the way they treated Pearson.
It's not just Pearson, mate. I looked into their history since since Malky Mackay left. I don't think the manager's lasted a year. I think
I want to see Watford go down because fucking when Troy Deeney scored against us and he celebrated in front of us.
Yeah, he's a prick as well. You know what I mean? Like, but he's.
And then we're signing him in the summer, and I fucking love him.
The thing is, Wolves have nearly had as many managers this season as Norwich have had wins in the league. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. They think the answer is just chopping and changing. I mean, I'll be honest with you, right? I can't sit. This is my personal opinion. I can't see Watford beating Arsenal because I watched them against Man City and they was a shambles. I think Mullins is well out of his depth with that sort of job. I just can't see it.
Mullins ain't gonna. Mullins, look, it's not Mullins' fault, innit? He's just been temporary charged. I mean, I heard they're looking at who's the old Leicester manager that got sacked this season? Claude Puel, is it? Paul, whatever his fucking name is. But he won't last. He won't last there. He'll just be another one. They're like revolving door, innit? Like you come in, you go, you have a few.
It's a shambles the way it's run like that. You know what I mean? In 12 years, they've not. I think there's only 2 managers that lasted over a year, and it ain't much over a year.
I just think the way they treat Pearson.
Yeah, that's it. When Pearson took over, they were 6 points
rock bottom.
Yeah.
I think they were more than that. I think
they were more than that.
He's dragged them out bottom 3.
Yeah, they were 9 points adrift when he took over.
There you go.
Yeah, so he's dragged them out bottom 3, give him a chance, and they sack him.
Hold on, this is the thing, right? This is the way I see it, Gan. I think we'll beat Villa. I think the pressure will get to Villa, and I think we'll beat Villa. I think Bournemouth will beat Everton and stay up. Yeah,
Bournemouth are a good shout because the thing is with Bournemouth, they've got players that can win them a game. I know they're not in good form at the moment.
The goal difference is all the same.
Yeah, a Callum Wilson or a Josh King or whoever can get them goals on the final day. And I know Everton won the other day against Sheffield United, which was a great result for them, but they've sort of been on holiday the last 4 or 5 games. So Everton have got nothing to play for. Bournemouth got everything to play for. It's going to be exciting. I'm just glad that we can sit back, feet up, cigar, and watch it, thinking we're all right. Fuck them.
Yeah, like I wouldn't have gone into this game against Villa with 3 points worth off. That's for sure.
I'll tell you what. I just realised we're slagging Watford off for getting rid of Pearson and to give him a fighting chance. We sacked Moyes after he kept us up.
But Bournemouth. Someone just said Bournemouth need to win 3-0. They don't need to win 3-0.
No. They need to hope. What was it? I just looked at it. They need to better whatever result.
It's one goal, isn't it? There's one goal difference.
Goal, but if the others are losing, they're losing a goal, and they'll be gaining a goal if they're winning. So.
Yeah, hold on.
They don't need to win 3-0. I think you're looking at it the wrong way. People, I used to do that quite a lot. I used to think, you got to win 7-0, but you ain't, because you got to remember, if you're losing goals.
That's it. If Villa and Watford are losing and Bournemouth win 1-0, if Villa and Watford both lose and Bournemouth win 1-0, they'll stay up because Bournemouth on minus 27. 31 points, Watford minus 27, 34, Villa minus 26, 34. But like you said, if Villa lose 1-0, Bournemouth win 1-0, and Watford lose 1-0, then
make the goal.
You know, the good thing is though, Scott, even if West Ham lose 5-0, we'll still be a Premier League team.
Exactly. And the thing is, Watford could lose and still stay up.
Mm.
You know, yes, they
I reckon we should give Villa a nice little 1-0 head start just to get their heads going. Think, we're going to do this.
They're 3 points down the other two.
No, they're not. They're on minus 27 and Villa are minus 26. So if
mate.
No, Watford and Villa are on the same points.
I'd love to see Bournemouth stay up, but they've got to. If they do stay up, then they've got to add another 10,000 capacity onto their stadium because that's the only reason why I do want them to go down is because away tickets for that game are like fucking Willy Wonka golden tickets.
Yeah,
I'll be honest with you. I've never forgiven fucking Callum Wilson for that magic hand, that sort of bollocks.
Can't we just relegate 4 teams this season then?
Yeah, fuck it. They relegate 5. We'll go down as well.
Yeah, fuck it. But anyway,
if we relegated 5 as it is, it'd be Brighton.
Relegate 6 then. Let's just fucking all go down. No, it's not. I'm happy, man. I'm happy we're a Premier League team. It's where I know there's fans out there would like to see us in the Championship because of away days and things like that. But no, the Premier League is where you got to be. Better players, best league in the world. Next season we're gonna have a great away day as long as we can go. You've got Leeds come up. You're gonna have you've got Brentford, Fulham, Forest, and is it Cardiff are in there? That's another good away day. Fuck it. It's going to be good. It's going to be good.
Certainly.
Do you know what? We're sitting here, and I'm sitting here going, buzzing that we're standing up. And I'm looking over, and all I can see is Liverpool lifting the trophy and all walking around with the medals. And do you know what? Congratulations to them. They have been the best team by far this season. They've deserved it. Been the best team over the last 2 seasons, saying that. City were good last season. But they've only lost. They've lost 3 games this season, Liverpool, haven't they? But that's 3 games in 2 seasons, so they definitely deserve it. But and
it's good. The thing is, it's good to see Adrian. He was. I don't think anyone wished him. We all wished him well when he left, and he's got his lucky break, and now he's got.
You watch now, like fucking Roberto go and sign for Madrid and win the Champions League next season or something like that.
Well, apparently Alves want to sign him, didn't they?
Well, that's 30 quid off the wage bill.
Exactly. So that's good. But no, Adrian was he was a good servant for us, so I'm pleased for him winning the medal.
Yeah, you're right there, Nick. I thought you nodded off for a second then. I thought he just went. The old black. He's got the blanket wrapped around him. The warm summer nights are kicking in.
I wanted to talk about one more thing.
Go on then, mate.
The stand. Have you seen the stand? Have you seen the plans for the stand?
Yeah.
The squaring it off.
Yeah. Have you seen them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think?
As I said to you on the phone yesterday, mate, I know the pictures don't. I'll just wait to see when it's done. It's another that I know they've moved people around and it don't look good on paper, but it's gonna visually it's gonna look a bit better because it's gonna look closer to the pitch. But that don't help people sitting at the back; they're not getting any closer to the pitch. So I don't know, mate. It don't affect me where I sit. So I'm just gonna wait and see what it looks like when it's done. But at least they're starting to make improvements.
The way it's curved around now, the thing that after they've obviously added more seats because it goes straight, and I know you're losing a bit. Sake, they've taken the curves there, and they've gone all the way back. That's more or less behind the fucking other stand. And I'm thinking to myself, if I had to sit there, I'd be proper pissed off because you're not even fucking facing the pitch. You're facing the other stand. Like it's I don't know. I sent you the picture. I said, imagine being sat down there. It'd be like like when we went to that fucking WWF thing. Fucking 15 years ago, we were sat behind a fucking screen, the Titantron.
Do you know what? They're going down the line on the Liverpool. Are you watching it, Scott?
Yeah,
they're all going down the line, and I'm just at the end of the line. I was just expecting John Terry there in a Liverpool kick. Going, what are you doing here? What's going on? Yeah, I think it's one of them things, mate. We've just got to wait till it's all done and see what it looks like visually. I mean, as I said, it don't affect me where I sit, but if it improves it a little bit and makes it feel like the players are closer to the fans are closer to the pitch down there, then that's what people wanted. They wanted them to do it. So let's just see what it looks like.
I think they should have went a bit closer. I think they could have made it a bit of a sharper incline, a bit of a flatter incline, and gone to at least where the carpet is.
It's whether the problem is whether it had you don't know how that would affect the sight lines for the people that sit on the corners.
No, yeah, maybe.
That's that maybe why they've not done it. You know, it's the only thing I can think of why.
And you can't dig up the carpet because that's still on finance. They ain't paid carpet right yet. They've still got 5 years left on
There's
that.
a sofa coming next week. A big massive fucking settee coming, 3-piece.
DFS sale.
Be interesting to see though, because if they have put more seats in there, would that then increase the capacity?
Look, I can't say for sure whether they've put more fans in there, but that's the way it looks to me.
Oh, Swansea the players.
Are they?
Cardiff, Fulham, Swansea, Brentford.
Oh, Forest, not. Oh.
Cardiff, Fulham, Swansea, Brentford.
Cardiff, Fulham. Forest must have just missed out then. Oh, that's a shame. I like Forest away. That was a good away day, that was.
Cardiff, Fulham. Oh, not them. Not fucking Cardiff or Swansea, please.
So
you know what? I wouldn't mind Brentford coming up. But then again, I wouldn't mind Fulham. Come on, the London clubs.
Yeah, rather have an away day in London or away day in Wales. So
the only thing about Fulham, right, is I got stuck in their turnstile last year, right?
It was down the rain as well. That was the coldest away game I've ever been on.
Down the rain, and you've got to make this long walk through this beautiful park, and I'm sure it's fucking lovely on a 3 o'clock on a sunny Saturday August afternoon. But this was a fucking wet, cold, rainy December or November or January fucking night. It was fucking horrible. About an half-hour walk from the station in the pissing down the rain. I was soaked through to my thing, right? And all right, Dan, fucking hell, leave it out. And I got there.
He's digging you out, Nick.
Yeah, he's saying eat less. And I got there, right, and I don't know whether it's got these old fucking style turnstiles. Look like them mid-rift ones, right? And I went through, and I've normally got like a bag and shit on me, you know what I mean? So I went through, and I'm proper stuck. I've got my knee lodged in the fucking turnstile, right, in some hole, and I can't get through. And there's a person behind me coming, come on, and all that. And I'm going, I can't, mate. I've got my knee stuck. I can't go through. All of a sudden, right, he's pushed me, and my knee slipped out of this fucking thing. It's sort of bent in an unnatural way. And I shot out like some Hot Wheels toy out of a fucking one of them racetrack things, man, right into a fucking puddle, knee height as well. There was a puddle there. It's like a big fucking hole in the ground, like it's, you know, like where people have just fucking worn it down over the years and they just hadn't had it repaired. And it went up to like shins, freezing cold, ice cold water, shoes and everything. Honestly, I've never shot out so quick in all my life. I just went ping like that, and I fucking couldn't stop myself.
I was fucking, it was like, you know, when fucking thingy gets stuck in the tube in Willy Wonka and the chocolate factory, and the chocolate builds up and it just shoots him out.
Augustus,
because he had all the pressure from behind me.
But it was pissing down.
I thought they were going to pull my leg off. That's the God's honest truth. I thought they was going to pull my leg off.
I was soaked right through, man. That was the coldest away day I've ever experienced in my life. But
Nicky shall now remember Augustus Gloop.
I remember, like, funny enough, talking about food, right? I was hungry at the end, like really hungry, because I think we'd come straight from well. I think it must have been a midweek game.
What, the Fulham game?
Yeah, it must have been.
No,
Monday
morning. It was a Saturday, 5 o'clock. It was one of the 5 o'clock games.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh man, I'd come from somewhere, straight from somewhere anyway, and I hadn't had anything to eat all day, and like when you see these old burger stalls in the fucking park and that, and they're packing up, you normally get sort of, because we're there later, and you normally get them like they'll sell you their burgers for £1 or whatever. So we've all gone over there. And he's fucking like, I've ordered a burger for everyone, thinking he's going to give us some for cheap. I said, "You got any left?" He's like, yeah. I was like, "Do us a discount." He went, "Yeah, can't charge us £8 each from."
Was that already discount?
Yeah, but the thing is, though, there was a £5 before kickoff. See us coming.
I was like, "Dom, do you want one?" I was with Tony. I was with, I bought a couple of people. Gary had one. And I ended up buying about 5 or 6. He went like that. That's £48, player. What? £48? Yeah.
Not good. Not good.
See you coming a mile off.
Yeah, fucking cunt.
Anyway, fuck it. We're Premier League. Let's end on that.
Premier League. that should be the next opening credit line game.
Do you remember when I was on the opening credits for Sunday Supplement?
No.
Yeah. Do you remember Jimmy Hill's Sunday Supplement?
Yeah.
Years ago, we played Northampton at home in the Cup, and it was when Ian Wright played for us. And Jimmy Hill was walking around the edge of the pitch.
Yeah, I remember. I remember. Yeah.
And when it was starting the program, it was Jimmy Hill standing in front of the fans, and there was me, Roller, Sadat, Gareth. We was all going behind Jimmy Hill. Great days.
Good times.
I'm sure we fucking lost that game at all.
Jimmy Hill Sunday Supplement.
What a show. What a show. Rest in peace, Jimmy Hill.
Yeah, that's it.
I can't sing Bubbles, mate. I'm fucking. Someone's asking us to sing Bubbles. I can't sing it. I'm in the middle of the fucking street, no less. Yeah, so that's it. Thank you so much for joining us on this edition of West Ham Fan TV's post-match pint. I can see you all commenting in the comment section. We do Friday night pint and we do watch-alongs and all that stuff where we normally react to the comments. Normally post-match pint is us sitting in a room. We wouldn't normally have comments, to be honest with you, so we do look at them, but we don't react to them. But yeah, get involved in the comment sections in the other shows. I had a musings ready for this morning, but I forgot we had a game, so I'm going to put that up for tomorrow morning now. So look out for that.
Shove your musings.
We're going to be building up towards the last game of the season in this unprecedented fucking, I don't know what to call it, Frankenstein of a season. I don't know.
Extended season.
Yeah, extended season. We've nearly been going for a whole year with a couple of months off in the middle of it. But the way it started nearly a year ago. I think nearly a year ago in a couple of weeks, and it's been such a long one. But I've thoroughly enjoyed it. I've enjoyed the live aspects of the show. I've enjoyed the Friday night pints when they come along. What did it used to be called? Right, the Thursday ones.
Live and uncut.
Live and uncut. The Friday night pints, the watch-alongs. Since we can't go to watch the games, the fan cams, the way we do it. These live post-match pints. Look, I know it's I'm only it's only post-match pint in name because we can't get a beer together, but we're trying to do something for the last game anyway. But if we can't, we'll be back here like we are now.
I'm definitely getting a few beers for Sunday.
It's been a very hard and difficult season. A lot has changed, and I know some of our situations have changed, and I know it's not been as
rewind
as regular as it should be. But yeah, it's we're going to get back to some sort of normality soon, I'm sure. Please check out our t-shirt. Scotty's got a t-shirt on. I've got a t-shirt on that we sell in our store, all designed by us. All gets pumped back into the channel. The Patreon down below, where you can get discounts on these t-shirts, and you can support us to make more content. And the more of you that sign up, the more we can do. So if you can have a look at that. But listen, if it's not for you, there's no pressure to pay anything or be a patron or anything like that. A subscription, a comment, a share is just as appreciated, because it all goes towards making this channel grow, and we want to grow this channel to unprecedented heights where we can give people their voice on a bigger scale. There's no pressure. None of the content you ever see on West Ham Fan TV on this channel now, or have ever seen before, will ever go behind a paywall. post-match, but we ain't going to be asking you to pay £8 a month to watch post-match pint next season. Post-match pint will always be here. The musings will always be here. The previews will always be here. But there is extra content coming for the patrons and extra benefits for the patrons and everything else. So please consider having a look at that. Before we go, I'd like to mention a guy that unfortunately lost his life. He was meant to be a very nice guy. He followed me on Twitter. Let me just see if I can get it up on the screen. I don't think I'm going to be able to do that from here. But his name was Martin. He's a West Ham fan, much loved by everyone. And you know, I never had the pleasure of meeting the guy, but a lot of people that I've seen met him once or twice, said he's a real cracking guy. And the thing is, when you see these sort of things on the internet, and you know, when you see people passing away that meant a lot to people, and you look about what's going on in the world at the minute with the people losing people all the time, but you know, people moaning about not wearing masks, and people, you know, debating about whether this virus is real or not. You know, people losing their jobs, and all the sadness and you know, the Black Lives Matter thing that's going on at the minute, where it's dividing so many people and people are dying. You know, it makes it put you into all in perspective when someone you know, or you know people that know someone that passes away, and we need to. You know, we need to remember that sometimes. We need to put some things in perspective when it comes to football, and that, you know, people are losing their lives, and we send our deepest condolences to Martin and his family and all of his family and friends at this moment in time.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for watching this edition of Postmatch. We'll be back on Sunday for the last post-match pint of the season. Once again, thank you very much for watching West Ham Fan TV. One thing left to say.
Come on.